Yo, now this cartoon just said a mouthful without saying anything. Watch this. Look at the agenda. Look at how they just feminized a masculine man. It's always been in place.
Artists like Drake, Young Thug, Lil Yachty, Playboi Carti, Lil Uzi Vert, and NBA Youngboy are all very popular artists in the music industry. I find it interesting that a lot of these rappers come into the industry with such presence, street credibility, and a certain image that they try to maintain. Now, not every single rapper follows this same profile for their backgrounds, but I also can't help but think of who these rappers were before and what they get turned into while being in the industry. Take Drake for instance, arguably the biggest rap artist for the past decade. He's well established and has always asserted himself as the top dog in the industry. Now, Drake's personality, as some may know, is a very light, comedic, and he's just like a friendly guy. But there's plenty of times where he'll let you know he's also about that action. Now, when you look at the timeline for Drake as an artist, you can see the progression from where he comes from to how far along he's made it in his career. Now, my question is, at what point did that slightly change? Well, let's take a look at this, because this is where I believe things really set off, was in July 31st, 2021, the infamous mirror selfie. Now, this is something you probably wouldn't expect a hardcore rapper to post, right? Now, the biggest sign of his femininity is him painting his nails, and I understand how painting your nails is neutral as well, but I'm strictly talking about the rap game and how they see it. And what's Drake's response to all of this? He says in an IG comment, "Get out of my comments, you told me to paint my nails, so I stopped biting them. And now the world is being homophobic for the first time since Rich Flex." And he's directly speaking to Lil Yachty, which Lil Yachty responds to as well. Now again, I have no problem with anyone expressing how they feel. I always just raise an eyebrow as to why so many rappers move into this direction once they become mainstream. Like, it isn't just a little bit odd? And another example as well would be NBA Youngboy. That's someone I never would imagine take that step into that direction of painting their nails and doing also other things. And you can take a look at this video to understand more.
Face painting, doing your nail, painting your nails, and doing these different sort of style things. Like, what's inspired that to do those different things too?
The nails came after the face. I was just playing with my face, and I actually liked it a little. You should try it.
Saying, I gotta check with the wife, but if she's with it.
Now, the point I'm trying to make here is, does the music industry have an agenda with these artists? It feels like the more open they are, the more awards they receive.
Respect everybody, you respect me, you know, but I'm just more pointing out what the industry does to these dudes, you know what I'm saying? Because he went from what he was until now, like, every picture he posts is feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like the tightest jeans and those little netted shirts that like Busta Rhymes and them used to wear back in the 90s and shit. You know, hair all red. He got nose rings on both sides. You know what I'm saying? That's feminine as hell, you know what I'm saying?
Now, just to reiterate, there's nothing wrong with how rappers express themselves. I'm just curious as to why so many of them follow the same pattern. And this goes into the conspiracy of artists potentially being groomed into sexual relationships for career advancement, you know, to get higher and to the next level. Now, we see it in many artists like Doja Cat, Sam Smith, just completely change who they are and are now almost directly praising the devil. And look at where their careers are. So when people say artists sell their souls, it's by signing your life away for money and clout. And in return, the industry is allowed to use you how they see fit, which directly correlates with selling ownership of yourself to these labels, but that's a separate topic. Now, I'm not the only person who thinks this way. There's plenty of artists that are in the industry that have spoken out against this weird agenda. Take Fat Joe, for example. He did an interview with Vlad 11 years ago about quote-unquote gay mafia that controls hip-hop. Take a look.
In a field like hip-hop, which is very, very
It's
homophobic,
cool. It's the greatest. It's the greatest gay market in the world.
do you think that there'll ever be an out-of-the-closet gay
It's
rapper?
owned. The hip-hop community is most likely owned by gay, to be honest
But
with
do you
you.
think there'll be an
They're owned by gay.
out-of-the-closet-
I happen to think there's a gay mafia in hip-hop.
Right.
Not rappers. You know, the editorial presidents of magazines,
Sure.
the PDs at radio stations, the people who give you award at award shows. This is the fucking gay mafia, my man.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They are in power. So why wouldn't a guy come out and say, yo, I'm gay, and get that type of love? I mean, Lady Gaga, I don't know if she's gay, but she running with that gay shit for real. And she is winning.
So if the industry that owns and controls many of these artists are gay and are in power, you can't deny that this conspiracy does have some merit to it. So my question is, how far will these rappers go in order to win more? Only time will tell, and what the truths will come out in the future about this entire agenda will also see the light of day. Now, I'm also very curious about your opinion as well. What do you think is going on? Is it just a trend? Is it not that deep at all? Or is there an actual agenda behind the entire music industry as a whole?
First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokaha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS. Shalom to the whole elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. To you ribs, to you sisters out there learning in silence and staying in order, I want to say to you, Shalom. Lord's will, this lesson is edifying. Right? So this is obviously something that has changed the demographic of music. Right? We have a big shift. Right? When I was growing up, you know, I was born in the 80s, and I started listening to music, to rap music in the 90s, and you know, it was a lot different. The message was different, right? You know, but by the 90s, they already had a bunch of agendas to, you know, destroy the male and separate the male from the female. These things were already in place, but rap was sort of like a new genre. I can't even say it right. Of music. So at that point, you know, with the First Amendment, you know, it was hard to regulate and tell these people what to say because, you know, hip hop was so new that you know, it was its own thing for a little while, and then we started having people with loud voices where it was moving the people and actually inspiring the people, and they saw it as a threat. So, you know, they started deleting a lot of rappers, and then on top of that, they started, you know, watering it down and making it more dancey and, you know, more flamboyant. You know, they slowly but surely they started, you know, like with the Diplomat started with the tight jeans, you know, and then Lil Wayne, you know, continued that, right? So on and so forth until where we at right now, right? And these people did it for what? For a bag. And a lot of these rappers won't even tell you that a lot of the shit that they're saying, they don't really believe the shit they're saying. They're just saying it just to, you know, just keep the money going. Just like these athletes as well, man. They can't say nothing political because they will get demonetized, and this is how they feed their families, right? But what is the point, man? At what cost, right? At what cost do you say, hey, man, you know, integrity kicks in, and you know, the love of your people, you know? First and foremost, a lot of Jakes have a faith and belief in a higher power, but not according to knowledge, and even that can't stop them from, you know, being attracted to the bag. This is Matthew 16:26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world, and lose his soul? Right? What is the point, man? What is the point of gaining the whole world, man? If you're just for a short season, this life is short, right? Compared to an eternity. right? And I'm sure that hellfire, that lake of fire, is definitely not worth it, man. If you really knew, that's not a pain you want to go through. Let alone, the sorrows and perils of Jacob's trouble, in which we are in the cusp of, man. Like, we are right there at the window, man. Right? The thief is at the window, peeking his head in. Right? As the scripture suggests, man. Don't let it take you by surprise. Right? Matthew 16:26. For what is a man profiteth if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Right? What's it worth to you, man? If you knew what your soul was really worth, right, and what was really on the next side, would you sell it? Obviously not, man. See, Jake don't know the value, man. Don't have no faith, no understanding. Right? If I had asked the Jake, man, how much would you sell me your arm for if I cut your arm off? Right? A lot of Jake would say, nah, I'm not selling you my arm. Not even for 50,000. It ain't worth it. How much more your soul? Right? You getting what? Let's say in that lifestyle, being a rapper, you get like what, 400, 500 million on average. Right? You live comfortably for what, 40, 50 years. That's nothing but a blink of an eye to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This is 2 Peter 3:8. But beloved, be not ignorant for this one thing, that one day is with the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. Right? So you gain this profit, this money for like what, 40 years, 50 years, whatever. But for what? Right? That's a blink to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? And in the next life, eternity is just like forever, man, forever and ever, man. And you're gonna breeze through 40 years, right? You think that 40 years is really a long time? It's not. It's not, man. No faith, man. No understanding, right? And all these people are willing to, go against their heterosexuality for this, man. This is wild, man. These men are for sale. This is Ephesians 5:5. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, right? These men are whoremongers, right? Because they are sexualizing and immoralizing themselves for a bag, right? What is a whoremonger?
Strong's G 4205. Parnas. Parnas.
A man who prostitutes his body to another's lust for hire, right? And what is the lust of these record label executives, man? Is to basically own you. So they make you do these sexual things, so they own you and they can have something over your head, and they turn you out so they can profit off of you. See? So that you become a whoremonger, right?
Strong's G 4205. Parnas. Parnas.
Man, that's pretty bad, man. You're painting your nails, you twerking, you're doing sexual illicit acts, you're going to these Puff Daddy parties. Like, you already know that man's under a microscope right now. For whatever reason, man. I don't know how long that man's going to be protected for, but that man is under a microscope. This is Romans chapter 1, verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one towards another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving that in themselves that recompense of their error, which was me. Man. See, this is men nowadays being out and open with sexuality, man. It's like, it's normal now for men, you know, to be seen in public with other men. Back then, they'd have to hide it, right? You would get stoned to death. But now, you know, wickedness has exceedingly, you know, up to the heavens, man. This is a wicked day, wicked era we living in, man. And that's how we know we're in the end times, man. But this is why the Lord gave them up for their vile affections, man. To be saved, you know, for the day of judgment. To be reserved. This is Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, right? Because these men ain't dying right away, because, you know, it's been going on for many years, and it seems like nothing's going on, nothing's happening, no recompense, it's just getting worse and worse and worse, right? Everybody's just doing their own thing, right? It says, because a sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil, right? To be lovers of themselves, you know, to chase the bag by any means, you know, just straight up, just selling their soul, basically. That's what it is. Verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which fear before him, right? Because the men of the Lord are watching and fearing, right? And you fear by listening to and adhering to the instructions, right, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, not to do these things, right? This is what separates the man of the Lord from regular people, man. This is why broad is the way into destruction, paraphrasing, right? But narrow is the way into salvation. Right, verse 13, but he shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right, eventually he's going to catch up to you, right? And in that time, man, there's nothing that's going to save you, right? Your bag's not going to save you. You cannot buy your way out. You cannot booty clap your way out of it, right? None of that, right? Well, I'm not going to go too far into this, man. I hope this lesson was edifying, right? I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who we learn from, right? The water, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, for putting the spirit on these men, for continuing the labor, and allowing us to continue in their labors, right? With humility, meekness, humbleness, right? And understanding with open ears. Right? Shalom to the hopeful elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. And to you, Rib, to you sisters out there learning silence and staying in order, I want to say to you, Shalom. A healthy Shalom to all of y'all listening and learning and keeping the faith, fighting this good fight of faith. Shalom.